Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Junior, aka Smoking Guns, out here in Tucson, Arizona, representing the Ultimate Fight Club, giving you the latest content in boxing and MMA news that is out. So, first things first, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys are having a happy holiday. I wasn't even going to post a video today, but my kids then got their presents. They outside playing on their bikes, left my ass here alone. So I was like, you know what? I saw some news today, so I was like, I figured I might as well hook you guys up. But today's video, we're going to be talking about Tony Harrison coming out in an interview saying that he wants what Charlo does, and that's an immediate rematch, okay? And I was very glad to hear that he said this, because to me, the decision was a bit controversial, but at the same time, in that last video that I put out, I was telling everybody the only person that you can blame in that loss is friggin' JERMELL CHARLO, man. All he had to do was press the pace a little bit more on that fight. He was just a little bit too content in that fight, just kind of being laid back. It just looked like he was a little bit too laid back in that fight. Wasn't really digging to the body, wasn't using his jab enough, and he just wasn't pressing the pace like he should have in that fight. But in this interview, it says Tony Harrison wants the same thing JERMELL CHARLO wants, an immediate rematch. It also goes on to say, I want to go straight to JERMELL CHARLO again, said Harrison, who, like Charlo, is 28. It's about legacy and pride and showing everybody who the new junior middleweight champion of the world is. A seething Harrison spoke to BoxingScene.com from his native Detroit on Sunday shortly after 1 p.m., just moments after having completed a full review and critique of what he considers to be his defining moment at the home of a cousin. It also goes on to state, this was my first time watching the fight, and I swear I controlled everything about it and dominated that boy. I was dictating with my jab, giving him angles, and there was a lot of subtle movement, like small steps to the right or left. My feints kept him off balance and flinching and more or less reacting, said Harrison. Every time he tried to get something started, I would counter him with a good counter shots or freeze him with my jab. I told everybody before the fight this was going to be one of those easy fights, and that I knew it wasn't going to be what everybody thought it was going to be. I felt like I controlled everything about the fight, that I looked like the champion, and I swear today, I definitely 100% feel like the champion. Quote, Charlo confirmed during their post-fight press conference that he planned to enforce an immediate rematch clause mandating a return bout within 4 months. Harrison said that's exactly what he wants. I'll leave that up to Al Heyman, said Harrison, but like I told JERMELL CHARLO in the ring after the fight, I would give it to him again. It also goes on to state, I straightened out my conditioning against Smith, where I let my hands go a little bit more. But if there is one thing I needed to improve on against Charlo, it still needs to finish stronger in the championship rounds. My dad was telling me in the corner that JERMELL CHARLO was going to be desperate because he's down and that he might need a knockout, said Harrison, who's won 3 straight after a 9th round TKO loss to Willie Nelson that ended his run of 10 consecutive knockouts. But I might have given up a little bit too much ground in the 11th and 12th. That's why I want to go straight to JERMELL CHARLO. Then I would go straight to Jarrett Hurd. So these are the 3 guys on my list. Either a rematch with Charlo or Hurd, or go overseas and do a good money fight with somebody like Kell Brook. I'm 100% not taking a fight if it's not JERMELL CHARLO or Jarrett Hurd. So Kell Brook's not in the discussion right now. Anything other than that, I'd be wasting my time. Quote. Now, this is the kind of talk I really like to hear from Tony Harrison, man. And like I said, even going into the last fight that they had, I knew it was going to be a good fight for JERMELL CHARLO. And I actually thought that that fight was going to steal the show, because I know that Tony Harrison's a really good boxer. And I thought he was going to be fading off in that last half of that fight. But he did a really good job maintaining his composure, being able to conserve his energy throughout that fight. But I also blame JERMELL CHARLO for being too content, just kind of biding his time, not really pushing the pace on Tony Harrison. And he really did let Tony Harrison control the tempo of that fight. And that was the main thing in that fight. If he did not let Tony Harrison control the tempo and the pace of that fight could have ended up really different. But he let Tony Harrison dictate the pace, dictate the tempo, and Tony Harrison was literally able to just get through those rounds, get through the rounds, just doing his thing. And before you know it, it's the friggin' last round of the fight. neither one of them dudes was even tired in the end of the fight. It seemed like they could have friggin' fought 5 more rounds. And even in that last round, when JERMELL CHARLO turned it on, he hurt Tony Harrison really bad in that last round. And Tony Harrison did a very good job being able to hold on, get through the round, and he ended up clinching that unanimous decision victory in that fight. So it's going to be really good to see when these dudes do rematch. I guess they have a clause in that contract for it to be within the next 4 months. So it's going to be really good to see what adjustments that both of these fighters make, because Tony Harrison states that he does need to make some adjustments and being able to press the pace and coming out stronger in those last rounds. And it'd be cool to see what adjustments that Charlo makes in this fight on if he's able to push the pace stronger in those first few rounds and able to use more head movement, because another thing that he wasn't doing when he would be coming in on Tony Harrison, he was getting countered with good straight right hands in that fight because his head was on that same center line. He wasn't using any angles and he wasn't using any head movement to be able to come in on the inside when he was making his way on the inside. And he should have been using his jab a lot more trying to make his way in on the inside. So it'd be good to see what adjustments both of these fighters make to see if it's going to be a different fight or if Tony Harrison is going to be able to retain that 154-pound title. All right. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any kind of questions, any kind of comments on this, make sure to hit me up in the comment section and I'll be sure to hit you guys up. All right. So I hope you liked the video. Holla at your boy.